Hello and welcome to another part of this chapter, numerical analysis. In this part we are going to discuss about interpolation. So first we define the interpolation. Suppose there is a function y equal to fx which is not known to us. The function fx is not known to us, but there are n plus 1 number of points, namely x0, x1, x2 up to xn, and h be the distance between any two consecutive points. So these points are equidistant. So these are equidistant arguments. And at these arguments, the functional values are known. As for example, at the point x0, the functional value of fx is y0. At the point x1, the value of this function is y1. At the point x2, the value of this function is y2. And similarly, at the point xn, the value of this function is yn. So we have n plus 1 number of values of this function fx, but the function is not known to us. Now suppose we have to find the value of this function at any other point between x0 and xn which is not equal to any of these arguments. Suppose we need to find the value of this function at the point x equal to u, where u lies between x0 and xn. Then the method by which we find the value of this function at the point u, the method is called the interpolation. And if this value u lies outside this interval x0 and xn, then the method is called extrapolation. Right now we are not concerned about extrapolation. We shall discuss about the interpolation only. So remember that in interpolation we need to find the value of this function at any point between x0 and xn. So based on the position of this point u, we use different types of interpolation. Here I have written 4 interpolations: Newton's forward interpolation, Newton's backward interpolation, Lagrange's interpolation, and divided difference interpolation. There are few more interpolation formulas such as Gauss interpolation formula, Bessel's interpolation formula, Stirling interpolation formula. But we can solve any type of problems by using these 4 interpolation formula. Based on the position of this point u, we use different interpolation formula. If the point u lies near to the start of the table, that means if the point u lies very near to x0, then we use Newton's forward interpolation formula. If the point u lies at the end of the table, that means if the point u lies near to xn, then we use Newton's backward interpolation formula. So the Newton's forward and backward interpolation formula requires that the point u must lie either at the start of the table or at the end of the table. But for the remaining 2 formulas, there are no restrictions. Not only that, if the points x0, x1, x2, these are not equispaced, then we can also use this Lagrange's interpolation and divided difference interpolation. So first, in this part, we shall discuss about Newton's forward interpolation formula. We consider Newton's forward interpolation formula. Suppose y equal to fx is the function which is not known to us, but the functional values of this function at this n plus 1 number of equidistant arguments are known. So the points x0, x1, x2, these are equidistant. We assume that xk equal to x0 plus kh, where h is the distance between any 2 consecutive arguments. And the entries y0, y1, y2 up to yn, these are known. Now we shall use Newton's forward interpolation formula when the functional values of fx is required at the start of the table. So suppose the value of this function at the point x is required where x lies very close to x0. Now in Newton's forward interpolation formula, we first construct a polynomial that satisfies all these values, and with the help of this polynomial we can find the value of the function at the point x. So in Newton's interpolation formula, we need to construct a polynomial. Now here we find that we have n plus 1 number of entries. So with this n plus 1 number of entries, we can solve n plus 1 number of coefficients, and we know that a polynomial of degree n has n plus 1 number of coefficients. So using this set of data, we can construct a polynomial with degree maximum n. So in this method, we shall construct a polynomial of degree maximum n. So assume that nx be the polynomial of degree maximum n. Here we assume the polynomial nx as c0 plus c1 into x minus x0 plus c2 into x minus x0 into x minus x1 plus c3 into x minus x0 into x minus x1 into x minus x2 up to cn into x minus x0 into x minus x1 up to x minus xn minus 1. Actually, this is a polynomial of degree n, and we have n plus 1 number of coefficients, namely c0, c1, c2 up to cn. Now you can use another form of this polynomial, but we have used this form so that we can find the values of these coefficients easily by using this n plus 1 number of conditions. Now we have selected this polynomial nx is in such a manner that this polynomial satisfies all these values. That means the value of this polynomial at the point xk must be equal to yk, where k varies from 0, 1 up to n. So we select the polynomial nx in such a manner that the values of this polynomial at these arguments must coincide with the values of the function. So actually these are the n plus 1 number of conditions, and using this n plus 1 number of conditions, we can solve all these n plus 1 number of coefficients. So first we use the first condition, n, the value of this polynomial at the point x0 must be equal to y0. So nx0 must be equal to y0. Now what is the value of nx0? If we put x equal to x0 in this polynomial, then we find that all the remaining terms vanishes except this first term c0. So here we get c0 equal to y0. Next we use the second condition. That means value of the polynomial at the point x1 is equal to y1. So we find the value of nx1. If we put x equal to x1 in this polynomial, we find that except for the first two terms, all the remaining terms vanish. So the value of nx1 is equal to c0 plus c1 into x1 minus x0 is equal to y1. Now what is the value of c0? We have already obtained that the value of c0 is y0 plus c1 into, now x1 minus x0, the distance between any two consecutive points is h, so it is h equal to y1. So that means c1 equal to y1 minus y0 by h. Now y1 minus y0, this can be written as forward difference of y0 by h. So we have obtained the value of c1. Next we shall find the value of c2 by using this condition. The value of this polynomial at the point x2 is equal to y2. Now if we replace x equal to x2 in the polynomial, we find that except for the first three terms, all the terms vanish. Now we have already obtained that c0 equal to y0, and we have obtained that c1 is equal to delta y0 by h. Now x2 minus x0, we know that x2 equal to x0 plus 2h, so x2 minus x0 should be 2h, plus c2 is unknown, we shall find here, and x2 minus x0 is equal to 2h, and then x2 minus x1, distance between any two consecutive points, which is h, so that is equal to y2. Now it is y0 plus, now delta y0 equal to y1 minus y0. and if we cancel out this h, then we get multiplied by 2 plus c2 into 2h square equal to y2. So that is 2h square into c2, that is equal to y2 minus 2y1, and this is minus 2y0 plus y0, so it is plus y0. Now if we look carefully, we shall find that this is nothing but second order forward difference of y0. So second order forward difference of y0 equal to y2 minus 2y1 plus y0. That means c2 is equal to delta square y0 divided by 2h square, which can be written as delta square y0 by 2 factorial into h square. Now continuing in this manner, we can find that ck, this is equal to delta k y0 divided by k factorial into h to the power k. Finally we find cn, the last coefficient, that is delta n of y0 by n factorial into h to the power n. So these are the required coefficients of the polynomial. Now if we replace the values of the coefficients in the polynomial, we find that the polynomial becomes y0, this is the value of c0, plus x minus x0 by h into delta y0 plus x minus x0 into x minus x1 by 2 factorial into h square multiplied by delta square y0, and finally the last term x minus x0 into x minus x1 up to x minus xn minus 1 divided by n factorial into h to the power n, and it is multiplied by delta n y0. So this is the required polynomial of Newton's forward interpolation formula. Now we shall convert this polynomial in some standard form by using this transformation u equal to x minus x0 by h. If we need the value of this polynomial at the point x, then we shall replace u equal to x minus x0 by h. Now x minus x1, this can be written as x minus x0 plus x0 minus x1. Now x minus x0 can be written as, this is equal to uh. So it is uh, and x0 minus x1, this is minus h. So if you h common, then it becomes h into u minus 1. Similarly, x minus x2 can be written as h into u minus 2. In general, x minus xk, this can be written as h into u minus k. So if we use this transformation, then the polynomial nx becomes, this is equivalent to y0 plus, now x minus x0 by h, this is equal to u, so it is u into delta y0 plus x minus x0 by h equal to u, and x minus x1 by h, this can be written as u minus 1. So it is u into u minus 1 by 2 factorial multiplied by delta square y0. Now continuing in this process, the final term we shall obtain here is u into u minus 1 into u minus 2 up to u minus n minus 1 divided by n factorial multiplied by delta n y0. Now this is the required polynomial of Newton's forward interpolation formula. So remember that when we need to find the value of this function at the point x, then we shall replace u equal to x minus x0 by h, so that the polynomial becomes y0 plus u into delta y0 plus u into u minus 1 by 2 factorial into delta square y0, and finally u into u minus 1 into u minus 2 up to u minus n minus 1 by n factorial multiplied by delta to the power n y0. So using this Newton's forward interpolation formula, we can find the value of the function at the point x if the point x lies near to the start of the table. Remember that this formula gives better result if x lies very near to the start of the table. So if x lies close to x0, then x minus x0 is very small quantity. So if u is very small, then this gives the better result. That's why if the point lies very close to the start of the table, then Newton's forward interpolation formula gives better result. Next we consider one example. We consider this example. Find the value of f at the point 1.02 from the following data. Here we find that 4 arguments are given, 4 equispaced arguments with the distance between any two consecutive argument is 0.1 and 4 entries are given. Now here we find that we need to find the value of the function at the point 1.02, which is very close to the start of the table, and all the arguments are equispaced, so we can use Newton's forward interpolation formula. For that we first construct the forward difference table. Here we have constructed the forward difference table. In fact, we have constructed the horizontal forward difference table. From the table we find that these are the possible forward differences, and in Newton's forward interpolation formula we need only the forward differences of y0, and here we find that this is the value of y0. So this is y0, delta y0, delta square y0 and delta cube y0. So we need all these 4 points. Next we write the Newton's forward interpolation formula. We have obtained that this is the Newton's forward interpolation formula, and we need only the first 4 terms because only up to third order forward differences are obtained from the table. So the remaining terms need not to be calculated. Now we need to replace all these values. First we need to replace u. Now we know that u is equal to x minus x0 by h. Now x is equal to 1.02, this is given, and the value of x0 is 1.00 divided by h, and h is the distance between any two consecutive points, which is 0.1. So if we compute this, we find that u is equal to 0.2. So this is the value of u. Now in this equation we replace the value of u, that is 0.2, and we know that y0 equal to 0.8415. From the forward difference table we find that the value of delta y0 is 0.0497. The value of delta square y0 is minus 0.0089, and finally the value of delta cube y0 is minus 0.0003. Now using the calculator we can compute the values of these 4 terms separately. We find that the value of this term is 0.00994, the value of third term is 0.00071, and finally the value of this final term is minus 0.00001. So simplifying this we find that this is 0.85214. Now all the points in the question are given are correct up to 4 decimal places. So we convert the result which is correct up to 4 decimal places, and so to round it up to 4 decimal places, we find the fifth figure which is 4 and it is less than 5. So this result which is correct up to 4 decimal place is equal to 0.8521. So the value of the function at the point 1.02 is 0.8521, which is correct up to 4 decimal places. So this is the method of Newton's forward interpolation. Now in the next part we shall discuss about Newton's backward interpolation formula. So see you in the next part. Until then, thanks for watching.